What is up, YouTube? Surprise, surprise. So I decided to also film how I edit my IG photos. I thought it made sense just to do the IG pics. There was a good amount of you that also wanted to see how I edit my Instagram pictures, and the way I edit them is pretty much how every huge beauty blogger edits their pics because of this simple idea. Sorry, my daughter. Just because of this simple idea that when you are posting your makeup photos or whatever photo, but it's specifically for makeup and social media, whenever you are posting these photos, you want to make sure you're putting your best foot forward. You know, sometimes makeup looks so good in person and sometimes the camera doesn't capture it. I do edit my Instagram pictures. I do try to keep them as natural as possible, but if there's anything temporary on my face, like pimples, then it'll be removed from the picture. Putting your best pic out there. I do not edit the makeup on my face. Like I said, I do try to get my pics to look as natural as possible, but like the best version of it, you know? If you want to see how I edit my Instagram photos, then just keep on watching. Alright, so now I am on my phone. I have downloaded the photos, have been airdropped to my phone. I am screen recording my phone now, so you guys will probably see it. I go into my photos and I go to all photos so that I can see the photos that downloaded, and then I go through each one and kind of heart or favorite whichever ones are my favorite. Because I care about how the products that I use look in the pictures, it's important for me to get a mix of photos with my eyes open, with my eyes closed. So I've picked my favorite. Then I will go to my favorites album and I will kind of look through again to get a better idea of what I am working with. I go to Facetune. Yes, we use Facetune. I love Facetune just because it's an app where you don't have to edit everything. So whenever you click on an image, because I use a camera that processes these images on a bigger scale or a bigger size, it's always going to pop up that this is a very large image, so you can edit it in its recommended size or the maximum size that it is. I always use recommended just because from here on out everything that I post it to is just on my phone, social media. I don't need them, you know, to be in its actual size. So my first thing that I tackle is acne. So I zoom in to where the majority of the acne is. BTW, this video is not sponsored by Facetune or whatever other programs I use. This is just me sharing with y'all. Bless you. Sharing with y'all. Bless you. Sharing with y'all what I do. Please don't think that it is sponsored. So for my acne, I use Patch. And Patch is basically a tool where you can cover the pimples with another part of your skin. I've chosen to cover this big pimple. This can be tedious depending on your skin, how your skin is. If you have perfect skin, I am hella jealous. We are trying to get there with my skin, but it is a struggle. I'm actually trying to change my whole diet around for my skin. My body craves like junk food, it craves it. And that's when I know that I am at like, I've had too much of it, you know. But I just go through and I cover up the pimples that are pretty big. My goal is to eventually not have to be able to do this, you know. And I actually do have pictures where I've only edited like 1 or 2 pimples. My skin right now is just out of control, which makes for a good video in my opinion. So like I said, you can press the blue to see what your before was and what your after is looking like. I'm pretty happy with where she's at. Now I'm just going to press this blue check mark at the top right, and our patchwork is secure. So the next thing I do is I go in and I smooth my skin. I do not try to look totally like an angel, you know, just have that little haze over my skin. I definitely don't go for that, but I do try to smooth it out a bit. I do use just the one drop smooth. I don't use the smoother. I feel like it's too much. I take my finger and I just tap. I do not smooth and blend and rub along the side of my brow right here where it has the most texture, I feel like. And I just really go along wherever the texture is. We do not brush, brush, brush. We just tap, tap, tap. Now if I press the blue, you can see all the texture and that it's smooth. I do not touch the eyes. I just worry about my acne for that. So next we're gonna go to details, which is the triangle with lines. I use this for a lot of things. So I use it for my brow hairs. I feel like it helps to make your brows look more defined. That is also why I do it after the smooth, just in case if I kind of smooth a little bit too much in the brows, I can bring it back. As you can see, brow hairs are good. Then I'll also detail the lashes. You know, sometimes you cannot get the focus of the lashes in the photo, and it really bothers me, but it's just my camera just doesn't focus it. I'll bring the lashes back to life. Then I also do this to my eyeballs. I feel like the eyes are the window of the face, as you probably heard that before, so I feel like the eyes really attract people to your photos, and I feel like if they're really defined and grabs the person, then they're gonna, you know, it's gonna attract them to look at your photo, to read your caption, to possibly like it, to follow. Who knows? But we're putting that opportunity out there. I feel like I sound like a huge beauty blogger right now. Where have I been? We're gonna blue check mark it. I use whiten. People mostly use it for their teeth. I like to use it for my eyeballs. Sometimes, you know, your girl just doesn't get enough sleep, or sometimes she's tired. Just to kind of get rid of the red, make it look like she got 8 hours of sleep, you know, good night's rest. She's not worrying about a crazy toddler. Got everything together. That is good. So the last thing I do is with tones. So tones, this is where it can get hella crazy. If you've seen photos of people who have like that blinding highlight, whether it's on your cheekbones or, you know, wherever else you highlight, I think 99% of the time it's not real. Most of the time it's because of Facetune. We are going to press the palette. So I pressed the palette, which pops up and there's a ton of colors. Right now it's on like a skin tone-ish color. I am going to drag this circle that's pink. I don't want it all the way white. I do kind of want it like a lighter white. And what we're going to do is work on this highlighter. As you can see in person, she is even, but this texture and this bump in my face kind of, when at a certain angle, doesn't fully get the highlight. So we are going to make it like we get the highlight. We are going to add, once again, tapping. We are not going to swipe. Zoom away, press the blue circle so you guys can see the difference. The highlight doesn't look perfect, but it looks better. It's there. You can see it in its fullness. I just wanted to make it believable. There's other places on my face that I do highlight. I will go into the inner corner. Sometimes I'll kind of do the nose. I try not to get too crazy here because it can get too crazy. So here is the before, and then here is the after. And like I said, I did not edit the makeup at all. I did not touch it. If there's a mistake, there's a mistake. If it's not blended the best, it's not blended the best. I am not going to edit that. My main focus is obviously my skin. So after Facetune, I don't mess with any other app. There's no real color theme, tone theme, filters, anything like that. It's really just the makeup. We're just gonna go straight to Instagram, and we are going to go as if we are adding a photo, and we are going to click on the one we just did in Facetune. And as you can see, this is our Facetune photo. We're gonna press next, and we are going to press edit. So we go across the board. This is how. So for brightness, I dumb it down because I do like the colors to show true. I take the brightness down. So usually 20, 15 is about good for me. Then contrast kind of focuses on the blackness of the photo. So I'm going to take this up a little bit. This just makes the photo look more crisp. The black's more black. Creates depth. Then we're going to skip structure and we're going to go to warmth. Warmth is like, you can be an Oompa Loompa or you can be super cool. But we're just going to take it about 6 or 7. I usually like my photos to look warm, like what I look like in person. Then we're going to go to saturation. This has to do with color, vibrancy. And we don't want to go too heavy on this because we can make it look very Oompa Loompa-ish. So this one I usually do about a 3. 4 is like the most I would go, just because I don't want too much intensity. So if we compare to what we've done so far, this is what we started with, and this is where we're at. Then we go into highlights. I take this up, so I just make the highlight parts of my faces a bit brighter. That could be the under eyes, the forehead. Then for shadows, this is where I care about depth in the photo. Like 30s for me is pretty good. I like shadow just because I like depth. You know, I don't like a photo to look flat. Skip vignette, skip tilt, and then we're gonna go sharpen. Sharpen is where I bring out my skin. As you can see, this brings back texture to the skin. If I press it, you'll see like my skin just looks more smoother. And if I let it go, it just has more depth. But I usually press back and I'll put save draft. The image is there, ready to be used. I just picked up my husband, so that's why I look like this. That was how I edit my Instagram pics video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm so grateful that I'm able to share this with you guys, and I really hope it helps you guys out. If you want to keep up with me elsewhere, you can follow me on my social media. That is always down below and at the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in once again, and I'll see you guys in my next one.